Good afternoon. Today for social studies, I real quick wanted to go over and remind you the 3 big ideas that we're talking about and trying to remember. And then today you are going to make a Flipgrid telling me your favorite place in the community. So I wanted to kind of brainstorm some ideas with you and talk about some different places that are in our community. The number 1 biggest idea that we are trying to learn and remember is that a community is a place where people work, live, and play. Okay? A community helps keep people safe, and it helps meet people's basic needs. So that means that they are able to get food, they're able to get clothes, they're able to have shelter, and then keep people safe. That means that they are able to have police protection, fire protection. They have people that, what is the name of people that fix the sidewalks when they're cracked, fix the roads when they have potholes, or at least they're supposed to. And the community just makes sure that everything is up to par and that it's safe for us, okay? Some of those things might include looking at the buildings and at the houses and making sure that those are safe for us too. Sometimes we might see a house that says not safe to enter. Sometimes they might use the word condemned. And really it just means that something about this building or this house is not safe for people to go into. So that is their warning of do not come into this house or this building. It's not safe to live here. And that's one of the ways. So talking about places in our community, remember that there's 2 types of resources that we find in our community. What are the 2 types? You said natural and human, right? Good job. What is a natural resource? Something found in nature. It's just already there. Now I always joke and make the and talk about it raining something, but it doesn't necessarily rain a river. Rain adds to the river. It doesn't rain rocks, I hope, but we find rocks in nature. And it doesn't rain mountains, but we also find mountains in nature. However, there are some small instances where people have made large hills or small mountains or some lakes. So not all of them were created by nature, but nature is preserving them. So I'm sure that there's more man-made lakes around us, but the one that I do know is Lake Columbia. Nature did not make Lake Columbia. However, nature is helping to preserve Lake Columbia. No one has to come into Lake Columbia and add water to it. Nature does that all on its own. It has bodies that come to it. It rains to it. And then underneath the ground, there's also water that's past this level. And it's been a long time since I've thought about it. But there's water underground too that helps lead to it. So even though it wasn't created by nature, it still is part of a natural resource because nature is preserving it. Nature is upkeeping it. And if nature stops or it stops raining or like in the summer when we don't have as much rain, the water level goes down. And then in the winter when we have the snow and the ice, and then when it melts, the water level goes up. So those are some examples of natural resources. What is an example of a human resource? Something that someone had to make, right? So our houses, our buildings, our cars, those are all examples of things that people made. We didn't just find them. Maybe some of them were here when this area was founded, but it wasn't here like way back in the beginning of the beginning. Someone had to make it, okay? This doesn't come with a building. Someone had to make the building. So let's talk about some of the places that might be your favorite in the community. in your Flipgrid today, I do want you to tell me what your favorite place is in the community, but I want you to tell me why. Like, I want you to tell, and not just because. Well, because why? It's fun, okay? Why is it fun? Because it's pretty. How is it pretty? I want you to really tell me those details. And if you notice, I'm really pressing you hard for details because you guys are almost third graders. And going into third grade, you're not going to just be able to say, oh, it's fun. No, those teachers over there, they want details. They want to picture your writing. So you can tell me it's fun and you can tell me that it's pretty. Those are completely fine. But I also want you to tell me why or how. What is there that makes it pretty, or what is there that makes it fun? Why do you think it's fun? Maybe there's not a lot there, but it's still fun for you. Maybe you have a memory there. You could share your memory that you have with that area or that, what's it called? That place. Okay, so let's look at some of the places in our community. Now, a community. There's a community in Brooklyn. There's a community in Napoleon. Jackson's a community. You could say Clark Lake's a community. You could say Lake Columbia is a community. Think about what a community means, though. Okay? So when I think of Brooklyn, Brooklyn encompasses Lake Columbia and Vandercook and Clark Lake. It encompasses all of those places. But Onstead is a community. Addison is a community. Adrian is a community. I don't think we have anyone that lives in Adrian, though. Addison, maybe. Where else? Manchester. Onstead. I said that. What one's over there? I can't think. Oh, not Clinton. Anyways, there's another one over there, and I can't think of what it is. Maybe it's Onstead that I'm thinking of. Who knows? So, I haven't been to all of these places, to be completely honest, and even though I've lived in Brooklyn my whole entire life, I don't know all of the places of Jackson. So I'm going to list some that I can think of because I can't really hear your ideas, unfortunately. So if you have a different idea, that's completely fine. I'm just trying to get your brain juices flowing. Okay, so if you tell me that a park, what just happened? Hopefully we're still good. All right. If you tell me that a park is your favorite place in the community, okay, please tell me what park, okay? Maybe most parks have names, but maybe you don't know the name. We call the one behind Wesco the Wesco Park. I'm sure it has a different name. I've heard some of my friends say McCordy Park. That's over on 12. All of the parks in Jackson have names. If you know them, there's Optimus. I certainly do not know all of the park names in Jackson. But try to tell me where it is if you don't know the name of it, okay? So there could be a park. There could be also, the lakes have parks too. So you could tell me the park at such and such lake. You could enjoy the lake. Well, tell me what lake. There's lots of lakes around here. There's Lake Columbia, there's Vineyard Lake, there's Clark Lake, there's Wampers Lake. I'm sure that there's other ones that I can't think of. So there's lots of lakes. So tell me what lake. Tell me why. Where else could be a favorite place in the community? These are both natural resource. Well, a park is both natural and, what's the other word? Human resources. But a lake is a natural resource. You could also really enjoy a store. That's fine too. Tell me what store it is. Maybe you could tell me where it is as to what community it's in. But then tell me why. So a store could be an arts and craft store. It could be a clothing store. It could be a game store. I'm trying to figure out the best one. It could be a shoe store. It could be a food store, also known as a grocery store usually. So it can be all sorts of different stores. Tell me what kind of store it is. Why do you like it? What's another place in the community? Ooh, my favorite thing to do is eat. It could be a restaurant. Okay? So it could be a restaurant. Tell me which restaurant it is. Tell me why you like it. Why you like it there. Going back to lakes and parks, your favorite thing to do could be a trail. There's a couple of walking trails. Willow and I explored the one that goes around Clark Lake the other day. There's also one Falling Trails, maybe, that goes from Jackson to Concord. Never ever have I made it the whole way, but I think I've made it close to half the way. One day I'll make it the whole way. But there's different trails. I'm sure that there's one out in on your way to Manchester, in the middle of nowhere, because there's not much between here and Manchester. There is a trail too, and then there's a couple other on the state land, and I'm sure that you know more trails than I do as well. So your favorite place could be a trail. Going back to parks, this is in with the park, but over on 12, there's a flower garden called Hidden Lake Garden, I want to say, I think. Maybe that could be your favorite place. Or, going back to parks too, there's Cascades and Ella Sharp. Maybe your favorite thing to do is to go golfing. Talking about Ella Sharp, there's a golf course there. There's also a park there, like a play park. Golfing. I'm going to put activities. So it could be golfing, it could be bowling, it could be racing. I know there's some race tracks around. What else is there in our community? I'm trying to think. It could be school, because you get to see my face. I'm just kidding, but I'll write it down. There's gas stations. Maybe you have a favorite gas station. So these are some ideas. I don't know how helpful they are, but I wanted to kind of think and get you thinking about what do you like to do in the community if you're able to go out. What is your favorite place to go to? What is your favorite thing to do? But remember, tell me why and not just because or because it's fun or it's pretty. Tell me why it is those things, okay? Make sure to add details. The link to the Flipgrid is right below this video, and you have 2 minutes to record your Flipgrid, and then I'll look through them and watch your responses. And then tomorrow we'll talk more about our community. Have a good day, guys.